going to ask to come up is Warren Hawke, who is going to be talking on behalf of his daughter Sophie.
Thanks very much. I'd like to say, first of all, it's a privilege to be speaking in front of such a wonderful group of residents. And very briefly, I was part of a group of residents that 3 years ago hung 100 pairs of underpants and knickers on the South New Brighton Bridge, because we felt at that time, 3 years ago, we were being under-supported by council managers. I don't know what's changed. Coming here tonight, I was surprised and rather shocked to see a big hoarding down the road where there's some properties for sale that says, "Make New Brighton great again." Well, actually, let's add to New Brighton's greatness. You are what makes New Brighton great. Thank you so much for turning up. Now, I'm part of the Pier and Foreshore Society, and as such, I'm part of a wonderful group of residents too that run the Duke Festival of Surfing each year. So, you know, the spirit of New Brighton is alive and well, and I love living in this suburb, people. And I'm shocked with how it seems to be that we are continually treated. What we're here for tonight is just one symptom. I can count 3 or 4 of being under-supported. I'm going to share with you now the experience of my daughter and son-in-law who live locally, and they've written down their experience. First of all, when buying their house, they checked if they would be able to extend it, being a 2-bedroom bungalow and with large section and fantastic views, and they found out that they could. Mid-2016, builders and architects scoped the house for extension viability. We said what we wanted to do, at a 2-bedroom extension and with a bathroom. They had a geo report done on their land and it came back that the soil was fine. They got the measurements for the recession plan and the floor heights, etc. The architect drew up a rough plan for them and took to the council to explain what they wanted to do and pre-permit, I think, pre-emit any red flags ahead of a PIM. They came back in email form and said that we needed to stay under 25 square metres in order to keep the same foundation levels and avoid resource consent. We had our plans drastically redrawn to these specifications so that we could go ahead with this. The architect redrew the plans and submitted for a PIM late in December 2016, early January 2017. The application was declined on the basis of floor heights, contradicting the earlier email correspondence from the council. Architect applied for a meeting with the council for explanation on application being declined. A meeting with the council, they were told they would have to raise the floor heights, even staying under 25 square metres and applying for resource consent. Our architect felt that it would be unlikely to be approved, even doing that. Advice was not to go ahead due to the uncertainty and unlikelihood of being approved. Total cost, $8,000. Thanks very much, people.
Thank you, Warren. Cheryl and Davies. Is Cheryl here? Oh, hello. You're Cheryl. All yours.
Right, I'd just like to thank you guys. Thank you very much for standing up and speaking on behalf of the community. We couldn't do this without you, and we've struggled for a very, very long time. So thank you. We appreciate it. I'd like to acknowledge all the people that have had hassles with this planning process, trying to extend, trying to build, and the incredible impact that it has emotionally, financially, and any other issue. It's been very traumatic, and we haven't asked for it. I am just a mum. I'm just a wife. I am just a ratepayer and a taxpayer. I work for a living. I've worked hard all my life and done all the right things. And so to go through this process that hasn't been honest, it hasn't been transparent, has been very, very stressful. So in the 23rd of March 2016, we bought our neighbour's section in our driveway. They left because they were too scared and they just wanted to change. So we purchased the property. we were able to purchase the property because we've been paid out just prior to that. We don't have insurance on our property, and we've done the repairs, but we, as I said, don't have insurance on our property. So we thought we'd purchase this property so at least we'd have a house should something happen to the other house, like burning down. Or, we're surrounded by 2 red zone properties, and we had been quite vocal about the fact that we didn't have insurance, that we were kept being told that you will get insurance, but we're one of the ones that can't get insurance. And when we have recently approached the insurance companies, they're wanting all these engineer reports that cost tens of thousands of dollars. I'm just me. I just work at an average paid job, and so that sort of money isn't something that we can come up with easily, and we may not get it. So the risk is too great to take. So purchasing the property, our lawyers did the due diligence, and they came up with nothing. And contrary, I had been interviewed, and my husband, and contrary to what comments have been made, it was pre this time that it was taken out and the district plan was enacted. So there was nothing there for the lawyer to report on. We arranged finances at the bank to be able to build in the area, and the bank didn't come up with anything. There was no flags there to say, hey, you can't build in this area, you know, there's some serious issues here. You'd think the banks would know. It's a huge commitment and investment. We also entered into a master build contract with a local building company on the 2nd of August 2017, still prior to all this. And there was nothing flagged with that company. They had just finished building a house down in our area. So they were very well aware of the issues, and at that stage the plans were drawn up, and they included a site-specific, building code compliant, engineered design foundation, which added significant amount to our build. We were happy to do it. It makes the place safe should another earthquake come. And to the new level heights of 1.8 metres high of the ground. And then we lodged our building consent the 9th of February 2018. So in between this time, this is when the district plan has come into effect, but still nothing had been flagged. We received a section 37 from the building consent process that stated that we needed a resource consent. We don't have an issue with applying for a resource consent. What we do have an issue is that they let us go through that process. We paid a lot of money we didn't have, money that we had borrowed and that we're paying back, to be able to go ahead with the build. They have taken our money knowingly that they would never give us the resource consent. So partway through this process, we just sort of backed out of maybe not going ahead with the building consent. We'd already paid the money. But then our building company came back to us and let us know that by a certain date that it would expire, and we would have to go through that process again at a later stage if we decided we could build. So we decided that we should go ahead with it. You've got 2 years once you've been granted your building permit. We thought surely the right thing would happen. And so at that stage we also had to get a geotech report done on the property. Now that property has had numerous geotech reports, and it wasn't good enough for council to have any one of those ones, so we had to pay some more money. So total so far, including the plans, which is why it's still not that high, but we have parted with $27,749.80. Me, you know, and my husband, we work hard. So imagine if you had to part with that and never get that money back, never be able to build or develop your property. So I'm saying these things because I'm like you. I have worked hard all my life. My husband has worked hard all his life. We have raised our children to do the right thing, contributing members of the society. We believe in our community and we want to live where we live. And if the rising sea levels is the issue, then that is the issue, not people trying to build. South Shore Residents Association, along with Gary Tier, we have a report, OSAL report it's called, where our plan was, so Gary Tier is help me out, South Shore Residents Association members. A what? He's a coastal engineer. So he isn't just, no one, and he's renowned overseas as well for the work that he's done. So anyway, he has created a report for us, a plan at a cost of $8 million. At the time we were told by council it would cost $35 million. Even if it is $35 million, a flood protection plan down in South Shore and South Brighton would be far cheaper than the cost that it's going to cost if they continue in the vein that they are. So we have a building consent. It has a section 37 attached to it, and unless a resource consent can be secured, it is a no build on this building consent. So we're waiting for 2 years. Hopefully something will happen before that. In May 2018, to do with the banks, we also got a valuation done on the property that we're trying to build on, and it was came back as a valuation, very small property, came back as a valuation of $90,000. And in it, it had the various conditions, that we know, everyone in the area knows of the sorts of things that are going on, but in no way did it indicate the inability to build on that property. So although the valuation is $90,000, it's actually costing us money. We pay rates on it and we can't build on it. What we would like from council, and I believe in having a council, I'm very grateful for the councillors that we have, and I work with a lot of council staff, and some of those people are just fantastic. And without City Council, we wouldn't have the things that happen. And okay, we don't all agree with stuff that, happens in council, but mostly, I think they're with right intentions. What I'd like for them, though, is I would like the council to have a clear communication process that is open, honest and transparent. And firstly, to the landowners in all the areas that are affected, not just South Shore, not just South Brighton or New Brighton, but all the areas that have been affected by this. I'd like you to work with us. I'd like you to work with the communities. The people in the communities are the experts, and we are the ones that are most affected. I'd like that process to include the real estate agents, the land valuators, the building companies, the architects, the land surveyors, foundation engineers, the geotech engineers, the banks, the lawyers, and so many more. That industry should know that there is a problem, if there is a problem. I mean, currently there is, because, just of what has happened has made it a problem. But I would like those people, if you're not going to correct the problem, they need to know, because people invest, and we're people, we matter. We are the reason there is a city. People, not things, not places, but people make up a city. And I could go on and on and on, but I'd just like to say that I'd like transparency within council as well. So we put that building consent in, and at no time through that process did they tell us that we would have to apply for the resource consent until after we'd parted with our money. At that time, we decided to have a pre-planning meeting with the city planners, well, our building company did, and they told us that under the current conditions we would not get a resource consent. But we had already committed all that money, so we did need to carry on and with that process. And the other transparency is we only found out about a possibility of a 50-year permit through the press after we were interviewed, and then the city planner was interviewed. So there is no transparency, there is no communication, and I'd like that to change. And I would like us to work together, because that's the only way that change will happen, and good things happen when we work together. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Cheryl. It was really good and enlightening. And the last set speaker tonight is Pete Campbell. Is Pete here? Not behind me, is he? No?
Yeah, my story is exactly the same. Exactly. So I won't bore you with it all, but it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
We've lost about 26,000.
Goodness gracious.
Our house, living with it all down.
Well, thank you, Pete.
it's a young family, they have a young family, they're just starting out. I'm not retired, but you know, I still have a few years before I'm retired, but Pete's family, you know, they're just young, they're just starting out and they need a real shot at it, so let's support them too.
Well, thanks so much for your support. Look, you've heard the stories tonight, and it's quite clear. How did we get to this stage? I mean, how can you possibly buy a section, spend all that money, and then find out you can't build? I mean, something wrong here, isn't there? It's just not right. I mean, like, you imagine 200,000, 300, whatever money you've spent, and you're building consents, you've got your geotech reports as said, you've got to build your house, your plans, your dream house, and then you say you can't get built, and your section's worthless. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't take a $50 hit, let alone a $500,000 hit. You know, this is what we've got, and it's just, we've got to get this sorted out. What this does, people, it's just, as I said before, so unfair that there is something wrong with our system, and this is why we spoke out. We have brought it up with council. I have been with some of the other members of CCRU. We've had meetings with the MPs, the local one, Ruth Dyson, I can't think of the other one in town, I've forgotten, sorry. But it's just, we've pleaded to get something sorted out. And this hasn't just happened, it's been happening for a long time. So I don't know what else we could do, and that's why we did what we did. Because you can bang your head against the wall for so long, and then you get sick of it. And all you people here are our friends. And to see people treated like this, and what you've had to go through, I feel for everybody who has to go through this, as we all do. And what I can say is it's not right. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Tim.